Good way to start. Tried to draft there at the end. Couldn't catch him. Let me know how the audio video looks, sounds tonight. It takes me a couple races to get warmed up. Everything on this end's showing pretty good. All the streaming numbers. So it should be sounding and looking all right for you. What are we ripping tonight? I am in the middle of... What am I ripping? Oh, I think I'm in the middle of ripping World War Z. Just picked that up on Blu-ray. And then, I believe, also Beauty and the Beast. Stopped by a place called Half Price Books. Never been there before. I was actually really impressed with the selection of not only all the books they had, but the vinyl section was actually pretty good. And then their Blu-ray DVD section had a ton of stuff. I wouldn't say the prices were cheap. They range anywhere from $3 to... I think they had some new ones there, but even some of the used Blu-ray that they had was over $10. It was kind of crazy. So I picked up the World War Z. I think that was maybe $4. But it looked in really good condition, and my concern is getting them to where I can rip them when I get home. And then we decided to go ahead and pick up the first season of Game of Thrones on high def. I know there's a 4K out there. I'm not too concerned with that. There's something that you have to... 4K to rip that takes way too much effort, time, and hard drive space. And what I'm kind of finding out is ripping Blu-ray and even a lot of my DVDs. The DVDs you can tell, but if it's a good movie, you're not sitting there thinking, oh, I can't watch this upscaled from a DVD. Now, Blu-rays upscaled to 4K look really good to me, and I'm like, I can kind of deal with that. Now, if I'm buying any new movies, I'll look to see if I can get a 4K Blu-ray combo. But I don't see me buying, I don't know, I say that now. I just don't see me buying physical 4Ks right now. It'd have to be a pretty special movie. And there is one that's coming out in a few weeks, and I'm like, that might be my first 4K that I'll actually buy. And then I'll have to figure out how to rip it. But I don't want to make it a habit to rip 4Ks. What's up, guys? Just hanging out Friday night, playing a little Mario Kart World, talking movies, ripping DVDs and Blu-rays. Was able to get I would say 10 movies ripped this week. It's not the quickest process. It's very much a, you know, you put the Blu-ray in, let's say, after you clean it. I give mine a little wash under the water, a little soap and water, just to remove any kind of debris that's on there. Give it a good dry, and then I will pop it in and then set it for, there's a program called Make MKV. MKV is just a container file to watch movies on that, for the most part, is a one-to-one representation of the actual disc. Like, you're not losing anything, but the file's pretty big. And there's not a lot of apps that, it's not as universal as, like, say, MPEG-4, when you're comparing MKV to MPEG-4. So I will take that MKV file once we get it ripped from the disc. Then I bring that into Handbrake, which is another app that you use. And I use that to convert the MKV file down to an MPEG-4. That whole process pretty much takes half a day. When I say half a day, it's because you set it and then you go off and go do something else and just come back. The actual time it takes, maybe 2 hours, 2-3 hours maybe. But we're slowly building up our movie collection. What frustrates me is 20 years ago when I was ripping DVDs, I had an entire hard drive of most of the DVDs that I own. I've got about 1,000 DVDs in our possession. And I can't find that drive. I don't know what happened to it. But I'm kind of rediscovering how to rip again at a better quality. Obviously, hard drive space is a lot cheaper these days. You guys see that? He got turtle filled right before the finish line. I don't know if he made it. That's the worst. You hit yourself with your own blue shell. Golly. So we changed up the look of a couple of the streams tonight. So on the horizontal stream, was able to get the old round camera. Got that figured out in OBS. And then on the vertical stream, you can see we've got a banner at the top. Just letting people know, as far as the banner goes, what we're about on the channel. Movies, music, games. Not trying to reinvent the wheel, right? Just something fun. I mean, a lot of people like movies, music, games. And then our goal to get to 500 subscribers. I think that's doable, and I think that's doable by the end of this year. Happy Friday evening to all of our lurkers in the background. It's kind of amazing to think. So I've got the Mac Studio. It's the M2 Mac Studio currently ripping a movie in the background, so we're using some resources that way. I've got OBS running, and OBS running 2 streams to the TSP Total Entertainment channel, a vertical and a horizontal stream. And then I've got our Elgato screen up. We're using a bunch of things, is what I'm saying, while we're co-streaming, and I think it's going pretty good. I don't notice, there's no lag, there's no drop frames, no issues, at least on my end. If there's issues on your end, please let me know. I think just in the 2 weeks that we've really started to live stream our gaming, I mean, I've figured out a ton of stuff. It's not the easiest thing, especially for people that haven't done it before, but it's not totally impossible, is what I'm saying. I think we figured out a lot of stuff along the way. And the good thing is, I mean, all these little steps, and then I can fine tune and make things look better. And then think of some ideas of how to go live and do a lot of live streaming with other content as well as our other channels as well. I think if you are looking to start your own YouTube channel, and if you're going to do it for fun, that's great. You can kind of do whatever you're wanting to do as long as you get some enjoyment out of it. If you're doing it to grow a channel, or you're doing it as kind of a business, which is what I'm doing, right? Since I just quit my job to do YouTube, I think you almost have to figure out a way to live stream, whether it's gaming or just getting out there and talking to people, because they need to see you. Your potential subscribers need to see who you are. There's so many faceless channels that are so kind of, I don't want to say creepy, but we all think the same thing, right? We go to a specific channel and we're like, oh, there's another faceless channel. Maybe it doesn't bother you as much, but for me, I think there's a And not as many people are as comfortable being on camera and stuff. I get it. I understand that. And there's some privacy issues as well. But for me, anybody that puts himself out there and shows themselves and interacts with their community on YouTube is a little more trusting for me. If I come across a channel, regardless of the content really, but if I can't see that person, I'm not subscribing, nor am I interacting or anything like that. It's all very suspicious for me. That's not to say there's not good people out there that are kind of faceless and don't want to be center of attention or whatever. I get it. We all have our reasons for being out here. Because you can't have some good people just doing it for fun or whatever. They just don't want to be on camera or whatever. But I think it really does set you apart. Again, if you're looking to start a channel and you're wanting to grow, you got to figure out a way to get in front of the camera. And you may not be comfortable with it at the beginning, and I was not at all when I first started. But you'll get there. Now, if somebody can knock on wood for me here, because I'm going to say something and I don't want to jinx myself. Everybody that I've talked to, whether it's in real life or friends of mine that are online that kind of do stuff like this on social media, all of them have pretty much told me consistently that the most toxic place is the YouTube comment section. And for me, I'm coming from a little bit more on the Instagram, TikTok side of things, and I've seen, I mean, I'm like, toxic. They're all toxic. But I have been forewarned several times that, especially on YouTube, and to just be ready when it comes to live streaming and stuff. I have not had an issue yet. I've had some weird drop-ins and comments, but nothing that has been a problem yet. And I'll have to figure out what the strategy is going to be going forward for that. What are going to be my channel rules? What am I going to do? Then prior to getting on tonight, I spent a couple hours today finishing up my latest video. This is over on the TSP Hub channel on the series of quitting my job for YouTube. What that video was about was I had quit a few weeks ago. And I thought that he had taken place a few weeks ago, like I was done. Haven't been back to work. I talked to my boss and we were good. And then I just got a text from him on Tuesday wanting to know, hey, can you come cover a shift on Thursday for us? I struggled with it, but I was like, look, I don't want to let him down. I really like my boss that I had. And if it's going to help him out, I'll do it. And that was Tuesday. I was miserable all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday. Miserable. Thinking about going in that Thursday morning. And one thing was also like, I was like, I'm going to have to say something to you guys. Because my whole series has been quitting my job for YouTube. And I'm taking you guys through the journey of what I have to do to set up these 5 YouTube channels. And I was like, well, we're going to have to do a little video that I'm going to go back for a day. Which, you know, I was afraid. I was like, well, there's going to be somebody that's like, oh, there he is. Couldn't take it. Couldn't hack it. He's going back to write that. No, it was definitely a one-time thing. I'm just doing it to help out because I'm a good guy. So, did a video Tuesday night talking about being asked to come back and saying I was coming back. And then I filmed right when I left Thursday. So that was yesterday. Pulled over to the side of the road, got out of my work clothes. And then did okay, here's what happened for that morning shift I was there. It was, I mean, it was nice, but it was kind of strange. People hadn't seen me in forever, and they're like, what is going on? Like, what are you doing? And so I didn't get any work done, by the way. But I spent the entire shift basically just filling people in as to what is going on, because everybody's like, literally every single person, I haven't seen you in 3 weeks. You been on vacation? No, not really. I kind of quit. You quit? Well, what's going on? Then you have to tell the story 10 different times, right? And the place that I work at, we also have clientele that come in, patrons that come in. And I'm very friendly and buddy-buddy with a lot of people. And a lot of the patrons that came in that day, they're like, where have you been? So again, on top of explaining it to everybody I work with there, explaining it to the patrons, I didn't get any work done. Ask me if I feel bad about that. No, I don't. But I spent most of my time not only explaining, but people are asking, well, are you really doing this YouTube thing? And so I spent a lot of that time essentially kind of plugging the channels of what I'm doing. So I had to get that video done and edited. Basically just kind of going over all the stuff in that last day. And then I'm like, oh, I gotta make a special thumbnail for it. I'm not a good thumbnail person at all. And I try to keep things as real as possible as far as not using too much like AI stuff in my graphics and thumbnails, but occasionally I'll have a little fun with it, see what it does. And so I worked with it to do a little thumbnail, which I thought was kind of cute. I worked in a lot of hidden meanings and stuff in it. You guys will have to go take a look at it. I think it's scheduled to post here at some point tonight. So I felt like if people know me as this kind of creative person, and especially at work where they're like, okay, he's leaving to go do this YouTube thing, I'm going to get a lot of secret viewers that are going to pop in or hear about my channel. They're going to be like, I want to see what the hell is going on. And so I wanted a thumbnail that they knew exactly what I'm talking about, where I'm talking about. A lot of hidden meanings for certain people, hidden clues. Did the whole Taylor Swift hiding stuff all through it. I thought I did a pretty good job. There's probably, I would say, close to 10 people that have something to find in that thumbnail that I made for the video. That they'll be like, oh, better piece of beef, what's up? But not every person represented in the thumbnail is represented positively. A few people, yes. And a few people, I take a good dig at them. Not to be petty. Don't get me wrong. Not to be petty. To be creative. Maybe a little petty. Because I can be little petty. But I don't like to be petty if I'm not creative and funny about it. I think everything that's on there will make certain people laugh. And then will also make certain people very upset. If they can figure it out. Let's check on the streams here real quick. Streams are looking good. No problems. All the numbers still look good. So if the audio, video, just audio, video check. If there's any of my older people out there, you guys remember the time and temperature check. If you're old like I am, you remember you'd have to call a certain number in your city or town to get the correct time and temperature. When I was young, going to my grandparents' house, one, because I was so bored to death when I was there, I would love to call the time and temperature place. And I think it was hosted by the local news station or something. It would be an automated service. You call in and it'd be like, the time is 8:09 on August 28th. Temperature is, and then it would give you the current temperature. It's kind of like movie phone. You would call to get a list of all the movies that are playing. That's something that's probably nobody has done in 25 years. When did they stop doing that? I don't know. But if you're not close to 50, you're not gonna know any of those references. And that is a cause of concern for me making these channels. You know, I've asked several people, am I gonna have an issue building up a channel that I relate to people with? I don't know. do feel there's going to be one day here that I'm going to actually win. I don't think I would have ever given me those odds before. Because I just don't think I'm good enough to win. I'm good enough to compete, not good enough to win. But I've been close. I've placed several times. I just don't know the game well enough. Shortcuts and all the extra things you can do. I just race for fun. I mean, I compete, but I'm not trying to figure out the quickest path. Hopefully we'll get a few maps in tonight, or tracks in. That'll be enough time for World War Z to finish converting over. And then I can get started with Game of Thrones. That'll probably take all day tomorrow to do. And if you're interested, we ended up getting the first season. I think it was for $7 Blu-ray. And it looked like it was in great shape from what I could tell. I think they said you have 7 days to return it if you have a problem to get your money back. And then like 30 days to return it to half-price books or store credit. So I'm not overly concerned, but I'll be, you know, I don't want to have to take it back because I can't rip it. I feel like I'm racing pretty good tonight, so I don't know. Maybe tonight's the night? Going back to what I was talking about with the live streaming, if you're trying to start a channel to grow, whether it's for business or you're trying to grow a channel, basically anything outside of just for fun. I found that live streaming is probably your easiest way also of getting subscribers. One, because if you're out in front, like I was talking about, they see you, they know you're a real person, not some, you know, some place in the middle of Pakistan or India or something where they're running these offices full of fake accounts or whatever. And nothing against India or Pakistan, I'm just saying. But the live streaming, since I started doing it for the gaming, when we decided to go ahead and add the Nintendo Switch to the entertainment channel and to live stream some games, I have picked up quite a bit more, a higher rate, let's say. So I think I'm working towards, I mean, I'm trying to get the channel to 500, but the shorter term goal, I think within the next week or so, is to get it up to, am I up to 300 yet? I don't think so. Not on this one. And I'm not just begging for follows for no reason. I mean, there's content there. We're talking tips on how to rate your movies. If you're a big movie lover and you keep track of your movies, watching them and rating them after you watch them. Like I love doing that. I use an app called Letterboxd. And I think some people love rating their movies also, but they don't really have a system, so it's hard to stay consistent over time. They're like, oh yeah, well that was a 3, that's a 4. Well, have you really thought about what a 3-star, 4-star, 5-star movie is? I think some people just arbitrarily just assign something because just by feel. I've come up with a system that I think is actually pretty good, so I did a couple of videos on it. That's the type of content that you'll get on the TSP Total Entertainment channel. I'm not just begging. I'm not a beggar. Although TLC once said, I ain't too proud to beg. That's only in certain circumstances. Most cases, I am too proud to beg. And if you're a sports fan, we've got the TSP Sports page. We're doing a lot of stuff with college football kicking off. Now, I'm a little more focused towards the SEC and Missouri football. But we do talk about the U.S. men's national team and then sports kind of in general. We've touched a few times. We've dipped our toes into the WNBA just to kind of see what's going on over there. For as many projectiles that you get to shoot out with the fireball and the ice ball, you rarely hit anybody. I have better luck with banana peels than I do with shooting fireballs and ice balls out. Needed to hit the bullet bill there or else I wouldn't have made it. I was lucky on that one. What's up, hola, my friend? Good God. I didn't hit one person. Now, true, there was nobody in front of me, but see if we make it. Nope. Got surpassed in the air. I don't know what else I could have done. Let's check the streams. Everything going all right? Yeah, the horizontal stream just never really do anything for me. I don't know if that's just the same across all kind of gaming, that everybody prefers the vertical. Still showing good. Let's see how our movies are ripping in the background. Oh, looks like we're done. That is good. So Beauty and the Beast is done converting. So let's get World War Z converted over. Maybe I could start Game of Thrones tonight, overnight then, if I can time this a little better. Let's see, I gotta concentrate on what I'm doing. Okay, there's the MKV files. So right now I'm adding all the MKV files from World War Z. And I'm telling Handbrake where to find those files. Add those to the queue. We're going to add all of them that we did, and we're going to start the queue. So the interesting thing on the World War Z on the Blu-ray, so this one here is the unrated version, which includes a new unrated cut with intense footage not shown in theaters. I wanted that, and I wanted the regular theatrical cut, because on a lot of these unrated ones or extended cuts, the movies are terrible because they're adding in stuff that should have been cut. Does that make sense? Great example of that is a movie called Gettysburg that I love. I ended up buying the extended version thinking, oh man, I want all the extra scenes. As I was watching, I was like, I know why these scenes were cut. Well, on this World War Z, it said it had both versions, and I didn't read close enough, but only the Blu-ray high def is the unrated version, and then the theatrical cut is the DVD version. I'm like, ugh. But I was getting the two big versions that I wanted. Not that I'm a big snob about the DVD, but if I'm buying it, like I said, I'm not buying DVDs. If I'm going to spend some money, it's going to be at least Blu-ray. And then if I have to, if there's the right movie for me in 4K, I'll spend the money and then try to figure out how to rip it. But I think on the 4Ks, you have to have like a drive that is 2016 and newer, and then it has to be flashed with some new instructions on how to read and break the encryption or something. I don't know. That's just in the 4K. And I was like, you know, it's a little too much work than I'm really wanting to do. I'm perfectly fine with the Blu-ray copies. Possibly we may not make this one. We didn't. I thought we were gonna squeeze through. Yeah, the horizontal stream at times I'm like, is it even going? Because I mean, zero people. pin that message up there. People can see what we're doing. Currently smirking because I'm checking on the hub channel. The video just posted and I'm looking at the thumbnail again. So all these people like riding the side of the walls. I don't know how to do that. Tried to? I got the last spot on that one. Number 16. Yeah, some of these people, they go riding way off on the side of the track, and I'm like, there's got to be a shortcut there, because you can't be that far off or not know where you're going. Yeah, if you're watching, you kind of know what I'm doing on this. Okay, never mind. I was going to say that was the one thing that can spoil that strategy there. Because I was just holding on to Bullet Bill until I can make a move here towards the end. I was like, the only thing that could spoil that would be if somebody got the lightning. Which it's a good way to balance the strengths of that, you know? So it's not too strong. I get it. Brutal. Got hit by 5 things there in a row. Oh, I gotta get inside that. Unless I can catch somebody here, I'm not going to make it. Oh, wow. Okay, good. All right, we're in the mix. Can we place, or better yet, can we win? I'll take second place. What do you guys, that's pretty good for me, right? You've been watching how I play usually. Man. Our first place of the night. Not to be confused with first place. I've reconfigured this desktop so many times trying to find just the right way to how I want it set up. And setting up your desktop, monitors, cameras, lights is completely different for streaming versus what you need for productivity. Does that make sense? If I set it up the way I want it for streaming, it doesn't look very, or it doesn't work very well for when I edit. Oh, shoot. I'm just sitting here just looking at the... waiting to get started. Guess we got kicked out. Monty Mole Toon Thumper. Let's go. Okay, got it. Yeah, checking in on the horizontal live. 0. I mean, really though? 0? Sleepy. you better off sticking to the edges? I didn't make it. Maybe we should play until I get one person on the horizontal stream. I'm gonna type that out there. Put on the horizontal stream, I said, just waiting on one person on the stream here. Just one. Those horizontal people are not as cool as my vertical people. Let's check on our handbrake. See how World War Z is doing. It's giving me an ETA of 1 hour, 16 minutes. Here's the Game of Thrones Season 1, $7.99. Hit him 3 times with the fireball. That was just a shit show there. That was a waste. That meant to drop back. Again, I am never in a good position when I am first. Probably the closest indicator to forecasting that I'm going to get eliminated. Jeez, I told you, what did I say? I thought I had that. I'll be right back. I think this Blu-ray set is actually brand new. I was going to excuse myself to go wash the disc, but it is almost pristine. So we're going to try to rip it. I made a little nervous there. I looked over and it was not opening up the disc. So I had to restart make MKV. And then now it looks like it's reading the disc properly. So episodes 1 and 2 are on disc number 1. So while World War Z is converting over in Handbrake to an MPEG 4, we're going to utilize the disk drive now that it's open and free. And we're going to have it rip episodes 1 and 2 of season 1 of Game of Thrones while we're doing World War Z as well. Trying to maximize our time. Okay, Game of Thrones, setting up a folder. Knows where to dump the contents. See what it pulls. So weird thing here. So disc 1 had episodes 1 and 2. Disc 2 has 3, 4, and 5. Disc 3 has just episode 6 and bonus features. Disc 4 has episode 7, 8, and 9 and bonus features, and then disc 5 has episode 10 and bonus features. So I'm sure there's probably a reason why in maximizing disc space. Just kind of odd. Luffy holding it down on the horizontal stream coming down. I think Luffy is my first viewer on the horizontal stream. What's up? I'm playing while I am ripping some movies and TV shows in the background. So we've got World War Z being converted to an MPEG 4, and then I'm ripping Game of Thrones Season 1. So, killing some time playing. Luffy, if you're still there, what are you up to? Late night for you. Or really early morning. I have not tried playing Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Really, whenever I'm streaming, the easiest thing for me right now is just Mario Kart World, which I haven't really been on the last couple days, been a little busy, but I do have 2 or 3 games that I've gotten to stream that I want to start incorporating also, in addition to Mario Kart World. The Star Wars Legos, and then Super Smash Brothers. I know that's kind of a popular, has been a popular game. My kids used to play Star Wars Legos on the GameCube, maybe long time ago. Had a blast playing it, and then when Nintendo Online or whatever was running that sale, I think for like $7 to get the entire Star Wars Legos game downloaded with a bunch of bonus content, I was like, I gotta get it. I haven't even opened it up to play it. And that's been 3 weeks since I've gotten it. Your favorite ones. All right, hold on. Let me look. Caught me in the middle of a game here. Now you're talking, because I've done a couple videos about Star Wars, the movies, and what I like and don't like, and ranking them, which I love talking about. Let me see here. Your favorites are Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back, and Rogue One. Luffy, we are on the same page. It's very rare that you're going to find somebody that's going to name 3 Star Wars movies that are high on your list. And I will say Empire Strikes Back is my number 1. And then Revenge of the Sith and Rogue One are in my top 5. I just had this conversation with my youngest before he went back to school, because he rewatched everything this summer. And we both like Rogue One. We both like Revenge of the Sith. Empire is, I think, maybe in his top 5. And then I think we just differ on everything else on it. But Star Wars is just a very generational thing. And I understand why the original trilogy for younger viewers is... It's kind of dated for younger viewers. Just in how it looks. But the people that grew up with the original the original trilogy, the prequels and the sequels, depending on when you grew up with them, for the most part, you're going to be a little biased towards that thing. Because I did a Star Wars ranking show with a co-host of mine 3 years ago. Her name was Chelsea. She's a generation behind me. Shoot, maybe even 2 generations behind me. I don't know. But she just grew up on the prequels. This is the first time I'm driving the truck. This is trippy. That is awesome. And we're all just biased to our own kind of trilogies or whatever. But I will say that I'm not one of those angry Gen Xers about Star Wars. I'm not a big fan of what's going on with it in the last 10 years. It just doesn't appeal to me. Aside from Rogue One. But I'm not one of those angry ones. My thing is, I'm ready to pass the torch, pass the baton to the next generation, that they can have Star Wars now. And I'm good with that. So, funny you mentioned Clone Wars. I am a big fan of the animated. So Clone Wars, I'm a big fan of. Rebels. As far as like, if we were to rank like just our top characters, Ahsoka for me is definitely a top 3 character, which is kind of crazy for a Gen Xer to say. Do I like everything about Ahsoka? No, but you're not gonna like everything about any character. And I was one that kind of hated her when she first came on the scene. When they first introduced her, she was so annoying. But I think she was written that way. But her story arc, for me, and just because she's been allowed to have a story arc. And I love where she started from and where she has ended. And so for me, she's a top 3 character. Return of the Jedi has a real nostalgic vibe to me without being in my top 3. I like it though. I like Return of the Jedi also. The original trilogy, all of them are within my top 5 or 6. I don't remember exactly my list. You were 4 years old when episode 3 was released. So when episode 3 was released, and even to this day, I love it because I love seeing a character fall and turn evil and the darkness of it. That for me was the allure of episode 3 and why I hold it up as really the only prequel episode that I enjoy watching. There's some goofy things about it, but I thought Hayden Christensen did a pretty good job with the way Lucas directs for episode 3. But I mean, what gives me chills, and it just did just thinking about it now, there are moments within a lot of just different episodes that are like super emotional. Like they do so, like the actors do so well with the writing, and you give Lucas some credit as well with the ones that he's had a hand in. But the Obi-Wan Anakin fight, after Anakin goes the low road to Obi-Wan, who had the high ground, I mean, and Anakin screaming at him, "I hate you," and you can absolutely feel it, and you just the way that whole thing developed and how he is transformed physically into Darth Vader. Oh, so good. So good. And where I'm probably a little twisted, like when Anakin goes to the Jedi Temple. Master Skywalker, what are you going to do? I love it. Hayden Christensen did a great job in episode 3. I wish there was look, Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams, that was a disaster because there was no overreaching, no overall direction between the two of them. And yes, it wasn't meant to be the way it was. And J.J. Abrams was not meant to have to come back for that third one. I think the mistake was, I think you give the trilogy, the sequel trilogy, to one person in control of the story and have it cohesive all the way through all 3. You couldn't have it where JJ started it, then Rian Johnson comes after and just dismantles everything. Not a big Rian Johnson fan. I hated that episode 8. But I respect the fact that he did some things kind of different. There's some moments in the movie that were really good, I thought. But overall, I hated the movie. I remember being in the theater and my wife was looking at me and she's like, the entire movie, you just had this detested look on your face. And I was like, it was just, what was he doing? What did he do with the movie? What did he do with the characters? But if you had given Rian Johnson all 3 movies, or you'd given Abrams all 3 movies, it's probably a different story. I would like to see what they would have done. Episode 7 started out great. And I know there's a lot of people that are now, looking back on it like, well, it's just a rehash of it. But that was the whole kind of point. One, it was getting back to the old Star Wars. Number two, it's the repetitive, how did Lucas put it, to where he related it to like poetry or something, and how everything comes back around again. So the repetitive nature of 7 in some ways, where people are like, oh, they just rehash it, that kind of goes with what Lucas had intended overall for the universe, for the Star Wars universe. But looking back on it after 7, 8, 9 are done, I can see why people are like, they don't like 7 either. But it's because it's you can't, I almost think you can't rate the movies individually. You have to look at them as a trilogy, and they should be produced as a trilogy, and they weren't, and that's the problem. You can tell I'm a little into that. A little bummed that I'm out of Star Wars now. Like, it really doesn't do anything for me. There's 2 series that have been released and I haven't even watched yet. No desire. The Acolyte, I was like, pass. Nothing in particular. I was just like, nothing appealed to me. And it was, a lot of it was being bitter at what they had done with a few of the series prior, to where I'm like, I think I'm just done. And what was the other one besides the Acolyte? I'm trying to remember. Now, interestingly enough, like even Obi-Wan or Kenobi, whatever the series was called, that had its moments. Ahsoka had its moments, but as a TV series, there's problems. They're not made for being TV series. Star Wars is a movie. The TV series were just stretched out. You needed editing to edit down a ton of stuff that just didn't matter, that nobody cared about. And then some of the characters, you're this huge franchise with money to burn, backed by Disney. There should be no reason why you're pulling in actors for major roles that are just poor actors. It's like Obi-Wan. And I don't even know whichever series had the, I don't know, there's the one chick that was not the Death Eaters, but she was just awful. I feel like I'm kind of rambling because there's so much of that to talk about, and I really should do some updated videos on that. But I will say, if you are, let's say, a fan of Star Wars, just in general, and you weren't crazy about the Kenobi series, and you weren't crazy about the Ahsoka series, check out Ty Patterson's cut. It's a fan edit of Kenobi and a fan edit of Ahsoka, that he edited the series down to a movie for both of them. Fantastic. Only way that I could watch it is his version of it. Kai Patterson, K-A-I-P-A-T-T-E-R-S-O-N. He's got a ton of stuff on YouTube that he explains to you why he edited it the way he did and how he did it. He had to recreate some scenes, change some stuff up just a little bit just for it to make sense. And I'm like, this kid here should be given a Star Wars movie to do. Because what he did and how he changed things and took things out makes sense. Like, he took the one bad girl out. What are those They're not Sith. What are they called? I forget. Anyways, he just completely took her out of the movie that he did. He completely took her out of the movie. And I was like, this kid understands. And then we just watched Ahsoka, but his version of it before my youngest left. And both of us were like, that was so much better. And you can go to his website, download it, and he's got it in 4K. And you can download it with different kind of audio, like if you just want stereo or if you want the surround sound or whatever. And it looks fantastic. That's the only way I will watch those from here on out. Inquisitors. There you go. There you go. Inquisitors. He took the one Inquisitor, the one girl out. He just took him all the way out. Was that Kenobi? And Inquisitors should have been something super cool. No, I haven't seen that the Starfighter with Ryan Gosling. I didn't even know that was a series coming out. I'm so detached. And I mean, you ask me now, like, will I watch it? Maybe. I think I've just handed the baton to the next generation. I'm like, you guys have it. It's for you guys now. I want just one time, give it to somebody that can make just an adult, dark version of Star Wars. Just give me that one episode. Hey, Arwen, what's up, man? You having a good day? Good night? I just want one person to make an adult version of Star Wars. Just make it super dark, adult themes, no stupid stuff. Kill people and let them stay dead. None of this lightsaber goes through them, and then all of a sudden down the road, that's like, oh yeah, he survived. Andor, okay. Look, okay, Luffy. I'm assuming you like Andor, correct? Like you're like, because we've already established the three movies you brought up, you and I see pretty much eye to eye on. So I would imagine Andor you liked, correct? Before I get into my diatribe here, I got to verify. Did you like Andor? Perfect. Okay. Give me 2 minutes and then I actually have to go. I have tried watching Andor 3 times. When it first came out, I was excited about it because everybody that is like me that have been kind of unhappy with Star Wars, this latest generation of Star Wars from the last 10 years or whatever, they're like, you know what? Andor is ours. This is the one that is all about us, that we're going to like. And I was like, oh, thank God. Finally. Andor comes out. I made it through 3 episodes and I was like, I am bored to death. And then I tried it again a few months later by myself this time. The first time we did it as a family. We watched it when it first came out. My kids loved it. I think my wife liked it. I was bored to death. I bailed. Next time around, a few months later, I was like, I'm going to give it a try again because all I do is I hear from people that look like me. They're like, Andor is the way Star Wars should be. Like, let me give it another try. Made it to 3rd episode again. I'm like, my phone's out. I'm like, I'm bored to death. I can't do it. Tried it again just this summer. I couldn't do it, and then I casually popped in and out when they were watching the second season of Andor. My youngest, when he was home for summer, him and my wife were watching the second Andor, and I'm kind of laying on the floor on one part. There was one scene. I was like, what is this? It was so, and I know there are some really cool parts of Andor that I have seen within the first 3 episodes, and then I've seen some clips. I get it. But that's another thing to where I'm like, maybe if they just made it into a movie and cut out all the extra stuff to stretch it out into a series, maybe I would like it. I don't know. So for some reason, Luffy, I get you on those first 3 movies, and then on Andor, much like everybody else that is supposed to be like me, I don't get Andor. I feel bad. I do feel bad about it. Was it a huge success? I've heard conflicting reports on it. That Andor wasn't that big for them. Because Disney doesn't turn out their numbers. You don't get to see their numbers. Maybe Disney will say something that, but you know, Disney's not going to tell you the truth. Season 2 got 9.5 rating on IMDb. Again, that doesn't surprise me. So the people that liked Andor the first season, the people that generally like that type of Star Wars, I get it. I get it why they liked it so much, and I doesn't surprise me that it got a 9.5. That just tells me again, I really need to give it another try. That's the only reason why I keep giving it a try. And I am still open to giving it a try. Because I want to be like, oh, I get it now. So Luffy, I trust you, man. And I like seeing this. I like seeing that it got 9.5s on the last 6 episodes. I like the fact that my family loved it. That just keeps the flame burning a little bit for me that, okay, maybe in time I'll come around. I'll come around to liking it. Or I'll come around to give it another shot. I'll put my phone away and just make it an evening to where I'm just going to concentrate on that. But it's been hard for me. I don't get it. Just like with everybody liking Dune and Dune 2. The ones that just came out in the last 5 years. I know people loved it. My oldest, he's like, that's one of my top movies of all time. And I'm like, it's like he's talking Mandarin Chinese to me. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I didn't like really either one of the Dune movies. Another one that just came out this summer that everybody was hyped on, Sinners. We watched that together as a family, and I'm like, I don't get it. I walked out. I mean, I walked out of our living room. But I am open to always changing my mind. And one thing I can say is there's one movie in particular, and I'll leave you guys with this, and then I do have to go or else I'm going to be in big trouble. The Acolyte was a disaster from the critics. Yes, I heard that. My thing also with Star Wars is that it's become fodder here in the United States politically that I don't know if I can trust what a lot of people say about it if I don't know those people personally. Because some people will automatically not like Star Wars or a series because of how they lean one way or the other politically here in the States. So I have to almost block out everything that people say as far as whether they really like something, they hated it. Because politics has factored into coloring how they see it. But a movie that I have changed my mind on, that is now a 5-star movie for me in my rating system. So if you're on Letterboxd, if anybody's on Letterboxd or you rank your movies, you know, I find that's a fun thing for me. My 5-star system that I have created for me is I can only give out 10 5-star movies. And if there's a movie that I would consider as a 5-star to move up to a 5-star, it has to replace an existing 5-star movie. So that's the unique thing about my system, right? Okay, so I have a movie that's a 5-star movie right now that I hated the first couple times that we saw it back in 2000. Coming out of the movie theater with my wife at the time, we walked out of a movie called Moulin Rouge, a Baz Luhrmann film. I didn't get it. I was like, this is bizarre. It's just weird. I hated it. I was like, I'm picking the next movie we go to. And then I think we watched it again at home. For some reason, I don't remember. And I kind of warmed up to it, but I was like, I mean, it was better than when I first saw it. I don't know what has happened since. I've probably watched that movie 10, 15 times since it's come out, early 2000s. And each time it gets better and better for me. And I don't know if it's more of a maturity thing or if it's something to where I appreciate things more as I get older. You appreciate things differently. You see things differently. Moulin Rouge for me is the perfect love story film. And that there is the example I hold up for myself all the time, to where I'm like, I may not like a movie initially, but I will always be kind of open to giving it another try down the road. So that's my little thing. Hold on, let me see what you said here, Luffy, and then I gotta go. Best rated episode on IMDb got 5. 5 for the best episode is crazy. 5 out of 10 for the Acolyte. Okay. Yeah, but again, I would have to see it myself. I haven't seen 1 minute of that series. I just knew of how they promoted it, what it was about, and I was like, none of that looks good to me. So I didn't even try it. But the people that hate it, I don't know if it's because they genuinely hated it because they're Star Wars fans at heart and it's just not for them, or they hated it because of other reasons that politics has bled into it. And it's like with almost anything in entertainment these days, whether it's movies, music, or whatever, the second for some reason somebody throws a movie, an artist, or something into the political arena for some reason here in the States, it ruins it. Star Wars is... There's people here that I think it goes back to when Finn was introduced in Star Wars in episode 7, that people were so upset about having a black stormtrooper. Now those people are the ones that are going to hate just about every Star Wars that has come out since Disney has had it. And I don't really put them in as an actual true Star Wars fans. They have other issues. But their issue is seeing a black stormtrooper or seeing a female lead. Now, Finn's character was shit in 8 and 9. They did him dirty. You know, could we just have a guy who was a stormtrooper? We had to make him into a kind of Jedi a little bit, and then we had to just completely just ruin his character. He didn't have to be a Jedi. Don't make him a Jedi. Just make him an interesting character. But they told, yeah, so they messed up that thing. So it goes back to what I was saying before, is that, am I a fan of the Finn character? No, not really. But then there's that whole group of people that are not Finn fans, that are not like me, and I'm not like them. If that makes any, if you guys understand what I'm saying, right? Wink, wink. We get all the entertainment from you guys here in Europe. We only got France that produces things, and let's say it's limited. But yeah, I don't know what's happening in the States with the entertainment. Yeah, I don't know. Shoot. We could have a great time talking about a lot of this stuff, but now South Korea is producing some stuff. We can talk about that next time. There's a great movie out of South Korea, actually, that I just ordered off of eBay. Great zombie movie. I'll leave it at that. Luffy, appreciate you hanging out. Arwen, hopefully you had a good day. Anybody that's on the vertical stream, horizontal stream, thanks for hanging out. All my lurkers out there, love that you guys kind of just hang out, and you don't have to say nothing. That's okay. I enjoy you guys kind of just being there with me on an evening. We will continue this conversation later. Go check out my latest video we just posted on TSP Entertainment on version 2 of my movie ranking system. Let me know what you guys think, if it's a good system or not. How to give out what's a 3-star, 4-star, 5-star movie. Had a good time making that video. So take care, everybody. We'll see you. Luffy, we'll see you. Bye, guys.